Hello everyone, I'm Robert, that guy you met today. If we haven't met, go ahead and scroll through my YouTube videos and let's get to know each other. So, of course, this is my 1993 Corvette cart, or the beginnings of the cart that is going to be radio controlled and then self-driving down the line. Well, we've still got a ways to go until we get to that point, but what I want to try to do today is start this car for the first time since we chopped it. So if you've been following along, you will know that as a part of cutting this car up to get it to its current state, we had to cut off the fuel tank, which is sitting on the floor behind me. So, because we had to get rid of that fuel tank, we had to install a fuel cell to act as our gas tank. So, if you go back a couple videos, you'll see where we plumbed this using AN fittings and rubber fuel hose, and then of course added a new fuel pump, as the fuel pump and level sender are built into that tank and the lid. So nothing I could do with that. Like I said in the previous video, the fuel pump right now is just wired up on the outside of the car, and I just have a wire going straight up to the battery. This is just to test it out because I want to make sure this works before I go through all the trouble of getting that wire to fit somewhere in the dash area. Probably going to have to drill it out. So as long as all this stuff works correctly, then we will drill the firewall probably somewhere in there and then run this wire to the back. I've already installed a switch off camera. I accidentally cut the other wire, forgetting that I only needed to put the switch on one side, but no worries, I have butt connectors, so now we can switch the fuel pump on and off manually. Since there is absolutely no fuel in this system, what we need to do is obviously put gas in there, but the biggest issue, and you probably can't see it, nope, you can't see it. Inside that tank is like an anti-slosh foam. There's basically a big pad of foam inside the tank. So, I got 2 gallons of gas. Hopefully that is enough to saturate that piece of foam and then also pool gas down in the sump of the tank. So as of right now, all these fittings are tightened up as hard as I could get them tightened, and then all of our hoses are clamped appropriately. We have Enrique, because you may recall I also did not want to do this while I was alone, and Enrique was gone. This guy, but he's here now. He is holding a leaky gas can, so that can only mean one thing. It's Milestone Monday. No, it's not Monday though.
Worst YouTuber Wednesday.
Yeah, worst YouTuber Wednesday. There it is. If you could do the honors and pop a little bit down in there, we need just enough. We need just enough to saturate that foam. I should probably shine a light down in there. Okay, I feel like you should stop there. Let's just stop right there. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm checking the fittings and just looking for any obvious leaks. I don't see any obvious leaks. And I don't see any leaks on the input of the fuel pump. And then, of course, I'm not gonna see any on the outlet. So I need to prime that fuel pump. So what I'm gonna do is just switch that on for just a few seconds until I hear the pump prime, and then I'm gonna shut it off and check for leaks again. We did have a little leak right here, right there. So I'm assuming since it's not leaking from here, I just need to tighten this guy down a little bit. Let's do that now. All right, so got that sucker tightened down. I literally was able to turn it like 5 full turns. I don't know what happened when I was trying it before, but I think we can continue now. Okay, assuming that there's no more gas leaking, we're primed. These, as you might recall, are the fittings that are going onto the stock fuel system, and I don't know what kind of witchcraft makes these not leak, because there's no O-rings of any kind. Like, you just clamp them down and it just works, but it ain't leaking. And this system should be pressurized. I think we're good to turn this sucker over. Oh yeah, let's... I don't think it'll matter, but let's just for good measure. Okay, so Enrique, I just need you to make sure that you're very close to a fire extinguisher. There it is, yeah. You just make sure that you can get on that really quickly, because it'll either work or escalate very quickly. So
Ready.
So it kind of died at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that there's probably air all in the fuel line. Worst case scenario is that the return line and the pressure line is backward, but I just went by what the repair manual said. But I'm not 100% sure if the car would run at all if those were reversed. So if you happen to know that answer, let me know. Man, I am so excited now. Like, this is really happening now. Like, with this, nailed this. Like, it's just working flawlessly. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see that we didn't end up with any leaks over here, because this is really what I was concerned with. Just because I've never used any kind of fittings like this, and I did not know what to expect. So now we really just have to get all this tidied up. Now that we know that our fuel setup is going to work, I'm going to go ahead and get this wire put exactly how it's going to stay in the car forever, and then get that switch put up somewhere in here. I'm so excited. Like, this is getting real now. Awesome. And since the car is running now, we do need some rubber. Because this tire, all four tires are dry rotted, but this one is to the point where it won't hold air. So for just the time being, I'm gonna go and get a used tire for this, just so that we'll have 4 tires on the car. And then that'll be good enough for us to just do like a shakedown run around our industrial complex, and just to kind of figure out the car and figure out any other things that we need to do. And then before we actually get this car on the road, we're gonna need new tires all around. So a little bit of time has passed, people, and I would be remiss, if you will, if we didn't just go ahead and chop off the exhaust rig. I think we should do it. So if I can borrow you once again to do a little filming for me. The last time I used this, you might recall, I cut into the fuel system, but we're not gonna do that today, because all we're gonna do is chop off. We're gonna chop off this exhaust.
Flowmaster exhaust, like.
It is. So this car came with factory Flowmaster exhaust, and it looks to be about 2.5 or 3 inch pipe all the way back. So this is actually not very cheap of a thing, but I don't care, people. One down. You see that?
No. It's a haunted car, man.
One moment, YouTube. Let's make sure that we haven't done something catastrophic. See? It's because I used the Sawzall again.
Yeah.
I think that little flash I saw might have just been the reflection on these bulbs when they shifted. So
illusions.
There's nothing in here. There's nothing down here to cause a spark where I thought I saw a spark. So I'm not worried anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're just gonna move all this stuff out of the way. Expected it to be a lot louder. Not bad, not bad. I can live with that. Get some exhaust. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we have cut the last rear component off. Well, hold on, that's a lie. We still got these fuel lines to cut back, but now we can start to really see the full proportions of the finished car, and I'm so excited. Now that it's running, we've got a lot of work to do over the next few days. I'm kind of looking forward to this work because it's a little bit easier. It's more just tedious stuff, where some of the other things were stuff that I didn't know anything about, and it was really physically intensive. This stuff is really fun and relatively quick. So our next update will be getting this thing ready for its test drive. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and then click that little bell so you stay on top of this entire project. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.